In a quiet, seaside town, there lived a man named John. He was a quiet, unassuming individual in his mid-40s, known for his love of sailing and his small antique shop by the harbor. John had a reputation for being a kind-hearted soul who always had a friendly word and a warm smile for everyone he met. One fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and cast its golden glow over the calm, glistening waters of the harbor, John's life took a tragic turn. His lifeless body was discovered in his quaint, seaside cottage. The circumstances surrounding his death were as mysterious as the sea itself. The serene setting had been shattered, and a palpable unease settled over the town as whispers of the puzzling incident began to spread. This unexplained demise of John sent shockwaves through the close-knit community, leaving everyone in disbelief. What had befallen this gentle man with a love for the sea, and why was his death shrouded in enigma? It was the beginning of a dark and perplexing chapter that would test the resolve of those determined to uncover the truth. John's seaside cottage sat nestled between swaying palm trees and a pristine stretch of sandy beach. The cottage itself was a charming, weathered structure with faded blue shutters that complemented the azure of the nearby ocean. The scent of salt water and the distant cries of seagulls filled the air, creating a picturesque backdrop for John's peaceful life. On that ill-fated evening, the sun's last rays painted the sky with hues of pink and orange as it descended below the horizon. Inside John's cottage, the soft amber light of antique lanterns cast a warm, inviting glow. His possessions, reflecting his love for the sea, were carefully curated, from nautical maps adorning the walls to seashell collections displayed on the rustic wooden shelves. As the twilight deepened, casting elongated shadows across the cottage, it was there that John's lifeless body was discovered. He lay in the center of the living room, where a cozy armchair faced the large, open window that offered a breathtaking view of the sea. The tranquil scene was marred by the presence of John's body, his once smiling face now frozen in a mask of eternal mystery. It was this serene, seaside setting, juxtaposed with the grim discovery, that made the situation all the more baffling. The tranquil atmosphere had been disrupted by an inexplicable tragedy, and the question remained, how did John meet his untimely demise in this idyllic coastal haven? It was a solemn evening, with the sun having disappeared beyond the waves, leaving the cottage in a gentle, dimming light. The tranquil sound of lapping waves filled the room as a somber hush enveloped John's seaside cottage. A close friend of John's, Sarah, had come over for their routine evening chat, but as she entered the cottage, she sensed an eerie stillness that sent shivers down her spine. The familiar creaking of the wooden floors seemed to echo louder in the silence. As she ventured further into the cottage, a sense of unease gripped her. She found herself standing before the open window, where John usually sat gazing out at the sea. There, her heart skipped a beat. She discovered John's lifeless body, sprawled on the floor in a disturbing tableau. His eyes, once twinkling with life, were now vacant. The room, once filled with John's vibrant presence, seemed haunted by the absence of his jovial spirit. Sarah's gasp of shock pierced the silence as she knelt by his side, trembling. The unsettling mystery deepened, for there was no sign of violence or struggle. John appeared to have simply laid down on the floor and never gotten up. As she reached out to touch him, hoping beyond hope for a response, Sarah's hand recoiled, for John's body was inexplicably cold to the touch. It was as though he had been snatched away by an unseen force, leaving behind only the memory of his presence. The haunting silence was only broken by Sarah's quivering voice.